I'm the last of a dying breed of MCs, holding enough to put hell on freeze. What you know about it?
Hello and welcome back to Tangible Tunes Interviews. Today we're talking with SoundTec, a Central Florida-based hip-hop artist, MC, vinyl DJ, event host, curator, small business owner, and all-around creative. SoundTec's work is rooted in a deep love for hip-hop and storytelling with music that blends thoughtful concepts, dense lyricism, and his own creative perspective. Beyond making music, he's also heavily involved in the culture surrounding it, from DJing and curating events to supporting the local music community. And there's a lot happening for SoundTech right now, a lot of exciting things. His new album, Nostalgic, is set to release on September 3rd, and we're so excited to talk with him about the project, his approach to creating music, and everything that has led him to this point. So, SoundTech, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, what's up? Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's great to dive into conversation with you both.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, we're excited.
Alrighty. So you work as a rapper, MC, vinyl DJ, event host, curator, business owner, and creative visionary. One, how do you balance all this? And then two, how do all of those different roles influence one another?
Yeah, I definitely juggle a lot of things. I wear a lot of hats, as some people put it. But I have a lot of interests, a lot of avenues that I feel compelled to create in, a lot of avenues that I'm inspired by. And I just really have always been interested in, pushing myself into diving in and just trying to develop my skill set wherever I can, while networking, while building community. So it's kind of gone hand in hand over the years, always growing up as a music enthusiast, loving listening to music in an album format. It just kind of led to really building up a serious vinyl collection and meeting like-minded individuals. Slowly got into DJing with some friends years back, and it just led to one thing to another. I started MCing just kind of lightly with friends. I think the first time I ever actually wrote raps and put it out for other people to hear was back in high school for a school project.
Nice.
Put together a little rap with a friend for a AP Psych class. And from there, it just kind of, it started to grow. And as I was DJing, I started to rap more. As I started rapping more, I started DJing more, getting into production. And, I just wanted to build a community and meet people that were inspired the way I was by, especially hip hop's history and kind of taking it into a new chapter into today's world. So I'm super blessed. And it's a lot to balance, but because it all kind of overlaps in a lot of ways, it almost feels natural in a sense. And it's something I feel compelled to, while I build up my art and build up, a platform to share with the world, I like to help others build up as well, especially when the support goes both ways.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely. And you also mentioned wanting to focus on your new single. We know the title and we just listened to it as well, yet again. So
yeah,
what
you know about it.
Exactly, what you know about it.
Yeah.
That is the title. And then what inspired the song?
Yeah, so it was one of the later tracks that I added to the album. Just to give a little more context, this album has been in the works for, more or less a little over 5 years. But at the same time, it's celebrating a timestamp when it releases of actually my 30th birthday. So 3 decades almost of life experience is really what made the album possible. But as far as some of the raps go, as far as some of the production elements and whatnot, it's loosely been in the works for a few years. And I would say the tail end, the last 2 years or so, I really started to hone in on the vision and kind of the theme and the basic composition of the album. And I want to give a shout out to a very talented producer who goes by Son Anthony. He actually produced my track Master of Illusion, which I know you guys have heard in the past. And he's lended his, talents to the album as well. And I basically heard a very simple version, or I should say a more simple version of the What You Know About It beat that he had, posted on his Instagram. And I hit him up. I was like, dude, this is so sick. I have such an idea that I can hear in my head. Are you using this beat for anything? And I'm very blessed that he was, willing to let me use it, let me develop it. And I kind of did my thing to build it into more of a song structure. And yeah, as the beat went on, I felt like it thematically really captured the essence of the album in whole. And, what you know about it, I felt it also captured my essence, my rap style, my kind of attack on hip hop, the way I dive into the elements. And it was a lot of fun. So yeah, I guess, I don't know if that answers the question fully, but that's how it came together as a whole.
Nice.
Yes, no, it's such a fun song.
Yeah.
We've been blasting it for the past few days.
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you guys for listening to it. I mean, I think it's a fun song too. Just every time the beat drops, I can't help but, hit the head nod factor.
exactly.
We've been watching like at least on Spotify, we've been seeing the number next to it just grow as the day goes on. Every time we check back into it,
Awesome.
I would say you're at,
2,500
yeah,
streams on at least on
Something like
Spotify.
that.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
awesome. My gosh. That's
I'm really grateful. Without a doubt, it's, been my, highest performing track. It's really reached an audience, globally at this point, and it's still expanding. So
oh yeah,
I'm really grateful that it's resonated with people and that it's one of those tracks that has just captured listeners around the world.
oh yeah. It's
definitely.
gonna continue, I can guarantee.
Yeah, I'm very hopeful. And, for people that like that song, I really think they're going to like the album overall.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
And then so you were saying it's been a work, the song has been a work in a duration of time, but was there any specific moments going on creatively or personally while you were working on the new single? Anything you could specifically target that was a large influence to your creative writing?
Yeah, definitely. I think in all of my music I put out there, whether it's explicit or implicit, because some of my tracks I really dive in, to what I'm going through in a way that can resonate with others. And just kind of the tail end of developing this album and some of the later tracks that made it on there, including What You Know About It. I had some health changes, at the end of 2025, kind of unexpectedly. It really forced me to recalibrate my lifestyle and just kind of take on some new challenges. And despite that, I felt compelled to keep working on this project, to keep writing. And I had some moments on the album that were a little more introspective, a little more emotional. But What You Know About It was one that just keeping that positive mindset. And I have a line on there: tragedy and trauma, God knows that I've been through it, but I'm gonna keep it moving for the music, because in all seasons of life, music has been one of the constants. And What You Know About It, I just decided to take, anything that I was going through in life, be it positive or negative, and channel it into, a song that encompasses myself and my album.
Nice.
That makes sense. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then your upcoming album, like we said, is set to arrive on September 3rd. And we've touched on it a
Yes.
little bit, but what can you tell us about the project and the overall world you're trying to create through it?
Yeah, it's something I'm really excited for people to hear. Like I said, it's been a few years in the works, but at the same time, my entire life of experience has gone into it. So the album drops on my 30th birthday. Not to directly age myself there. I'm interweaving between different timelines, but it's a timestamp there. And I've always been really inspired by like time travel, and my favorite movie of all time is Back to the Future. I love Futurama. I'm a comic book guy.
Cool.
So putting that type of element into my music, I'm really inspired, of course, by the legendary MF Doom, rest in peace. Just being able to create more of an essence in the music, through samples, through the type of beats, through, everything, kind of capturing that time travel element. I wanted this album, the name Nostalgic, to maybe capture listeners where, is this music from the future? Is this music from the past? Is this music from another planet altogether? And I think building that world where it can resonate with listeners old and new, hip hop fans, and maybe just fans of different genres of music altogether, just creating a diverse palette that's true to who I am as an individual and as a rap artist.
Nice.
And then so to go off of that, are there any I guess specific themes, sounds that guide listeners to that futuristic sound of the new album?
I think absolutely. It's very, I'd say, backbone and inspiration element. There's a lot of boom bap influence in the beats. Taking that, like I mentioned earlier, the history of hip hop and honoring it, but also putting in new elements. There's some very electric sounds. There's some, samples and whatnot of all different genres. Not to give anything away, but there's some really, cool old samples way outside of the hip hop world. There's some rock elements. There's samples from all different decades of music. So I think it really just honors a bigger palette of different genres and creativity altogether.
Absolutely.
So I think that might capture listeners because there's so many different musical elements compiled into a larger array.
Nice.
Yes. And while listening to your music, I've been a big fan of like Immortal Technique. So
Okay,
I hear a lot of just the essence of old hip hop that I have always enjoyed.
for sure.
And I hear that a lot with you, and I think that's something that really draws me in, just the classic sound that you produce, basically.
But it's also just like fully yours,
Yes.
which is so cool. It's like not even like fully borrowed. It's definitely like just fully your own, which is like so cool. It is an
Thank
awesome
you.
sound. Yeah, and we're so excited about the new
Yeah.
album. We're so
And
excited.
it's coming up.
Thank you guys. Yes, it's right around the corner. I'm super excited. Not to give away any news, but official announcement will be coming soon. The physical copies came in, which I'm so excited about. The album will be available on vinyl. It'll be available on CD, and of course, digitally as well, whether people want to download it or they want to stream it. But I'm really excited about that. That I was able to not only put the music out there, but there's a physical element to
Yes.
make a mark on, the time that it was available to the masses.
Yeah,
Yes.
that
And
is awesome.
where could people find access to purchase the vinyls, or like,
Yeah.
I guess that would be the question I would be curious most about. Yeah.
So for sure, I was like, you guys can hit me up directly if you want a copy. But anyone who's interested, they're available on my website, soundtechentertainment.com. I'll have it available on vinyl, CD, and of course, I have some other cool merch on my website as well. It'll also be available in several record stores in the Central Florida area, working on getting it in some, a wider array of physical shops. I got to give a shout out to Binks Orlando, Binks Cafe, Binks Records. The entire project the final version of the project was recorded, mixed, and mastered entirely at Binks. And they have a full in-house record store, so you'll be able to find copies there too.
That's sick.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. Well, that's
So I'm very excited about that.
definitely, definitely. All right. Well, if there's anything else you'd like to add, that's all the questions we got for you today.
Okay. Again, thank you guys for this time, for this opportunity, for your support. Thank you for listening to the project. I'm very excited for people to hear it. And I just want to give a quick shout out to some of the very important individuals who were involved and made it possible. All the photos for the promo shot by my man, Terry Clancy, AKA Photo Love of It. Some very talented producers on the project, including EQ47, Son Anthony, Height Keach, Anthony Church. And a big shout out to my man, Asleep in Plains, featuring some live instrumentation, and my boy Dante for featuring a super sick rap verse. And shout out to Katie Styles for the nostalgic logo design. I'd like to add that was all uniquely designed. She did some of the lettering by hand, and I just want to give a big shout out to everyone who helped make the project possible.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was great speaking with you and learning more.
Likewise.
But yeah, we hope you have a great rest of your day. And thank you so much. And we'll keep in touch.
Yes.
That sounds great. Hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day too. And yeah, looking forward to what the future holds.
Yes, for sure.
Awesome. Well, have a good one. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity. Until next time.
Until next time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.